Hey fam, this is just Gems, just coming with another news story for you. This one is a kind of a mystery at this point regarding Felicia Johnson, the young lady from San Diego that came to Houston for her birthday and to apply for a job at a club, gentleman's club here in Houston on April 15th that ended up not returning to her hotel, and all her stuff was still left behind. Her cell phone, they ended up finding that on the side of the road, I think, or at a park. But I just wanted to shed some light on it, bring some attention to it. It's a beautiful young black lady, and oftentimes we don't get the coverage that we should on our people when they're missing, and this looks like it's becoming some type of epidemic of black women just missing. So I wanted to do my part and bring awareness to the situation. I have a couple of news clips I want to share with you guys under fair use guidelines. I am doing this as, I guess, news reporting, but just bear with me. Let me pull up that clip for you, and then we'll reconvene.
Famous private investigators say that they found the 24-year-old's bloody phone. Now, Crime Stoppers stepping in, offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to Felicia Johnson's return. Yesterday, her family and friends held a prayer vigil. Her dad, Kevin Johnson, said she went missing 10 days ago while in town visiting from California. He says he was told his daughter was last seen getting in a car with the man leaving Cover Girls nightclub near the Beltway 290. Texas EcuSearch looked for any sign.
This is the website for the club Felicia was last seen at, Cover Girls in Houston. And I looked up the club, and it was predominantly white. Looked like white people or other nationalities at the club, dancing at the club, and the photos I found were, like I said, non-black people. And I'm just giving you the information, the demographics of the club. But I do have another clip I want to share from the news, and this is under fair use as well.
Stay in Houston as long as it takes to find his missing daughter. 24-year-old Felicia Johnson disappeared 10 days ago, and her father says a reward may be increased in order to bring in more tips. Jason Miles is live from Bear Creek Park, where Johnson's family says her phone was found. Jason?
That's right, Lynn. A PI hired by the family claims he found Johnson's phone covered in blood here at Bear Creek Park. Further reason the family believes foul play is involved.
Flyers like this are posted at Bear Creek Park, where 24-year-old Felicia Johnson's family says her bloody phone was found, while her father, Kevin, continues to keep her name in the news.
I'm her father, I'm the face of her, and I'm her representative in her fight to come home.
He came to Houston from his home in San Diego after getting word of Felicia's disappearance.
And nobody's gonna fight this fight more than me, harder than me, and longer than me.
He says his oldest of 3 children was last seen April 15th at Cover Girls Gentlemen's Club on West Little York, where she applied for a job days after coming to town from California to celebrate a birthday and earn some extra cash.
She fell into something that she couldn't get out of.
Community activist Quanell X, who helped organize a vigil last night, said Johnson got into an unknown man's car when an Uber ran late, and that the club has not provided surveillance video or any other information. Meanwhile, Texas EcuSearch spent hours in the area where Johnson's phone was found and tells me it will continue to follow law enforcement's lead on when and where to search. At this point, HPD considers it a missing persons investigation.
I feel like they are doing their job.
Johnson believes a Crime Stoppers reward on top of other money being raised may prompt a member of the public to do the right thing as well.
Reach out, go in your heart. Just if you know something, even if you want the $5,000, just say something, call in with something, give us something.
And we went by the Cover Girls Club today, talked to a manager who referred me to an attorney. That attorney returning my phone call just within the last hour or so. He says Cover Girls is completely cooperating with HPD and even providing pertinent video surveillance that may not provide to QuanLX or the media for that matter. Meantime, the club hopes Johnson turns up safe and sound.
Felicia Johnson is black, of course, 5'4", 150 pounds. She has a large tattoo of a butterfly as well as a rose on her thigh. They don't know exactly what she was wearing when she left that day, which I don't understand that, because if she was in that club, there should be some footage inside and out. They did say that the club provided some footage to the officers, so, you know, prayerfully they find something on that helps them find the person she left with. I don't know if that story has been corroborated by anyone, or if they looked at footage to see that she left with someone that was known in the club. They are kind of tight-lipped about certain things, but I did take a look into who owns the club, and it's the Davari brothers, and they own several gentlemen clubs around the city of Houston. They've been here for years. They own clubs, gentlemen clubs in Las Vegas as well. Now, I checked on a few stories. I see one on HoustonWatch.substack.com. It shows in 2017, District Attorney Kim Ogg accepted over $25,000 of campaign contributions from Ali Davari, who, along with his brother Hassan, owns a mini empire of strip clubs in Houston and Las Vegas. The Davari brothers have faced repeated civil and criminal allegations. The city of Houston even temporarily shut down one of their clubs, alleging that it was used for prostitution and human trafficking. The brothers also settled a federal wage theft lawsuit for over $1 million. The contributions to Kim Ogg raised serious ethical questions. As DA, Kim Ogg is responsible for deciding whether to prosecute crimes such as prostitution, human trafficking, and even wage theft, the kinds of allegations that have dogged the Davari brothers for years. When it comes to living large in Texas, one can do worse than Ali Davari with his $8 million sprawling 34,000 square foot mega mansion and a mini empire of high-profile strip clubs that he and his brother Hassan own throughout Houston and Vegas. Yet, while the Davari brothers live the dream, dancers who work at their clubs describe more of a nightmare situation. Let's see, and then it goes on to talk about the suits filed for federal wage theft. Let's see. The Davari brothers have been sued by workers at their clubs at least three other times for wage theft. They settled one of the lawsuits for over $1 million. Wage theft allegations are far from the only negative publicity Ali and Hassan Davari have faced over the years. When the brothers opened their first club in Las Vegas, the local newspaper wrote, "The Houston strip joints collectively have earned thousands of dollars in fines and enough citations from the Houston Police and the Texas Alcohol and Beverage Commission to wallpaper the MGM Grand twice for offenses including prostitution, public lewdness, selling booze to minors, and refusing inspections." Let's see. More recently, this is 2017, I believe. More recently, the city of Houston temporarily shut down one of the Davari's club's treasures after filing a public nuisance lawsuit against the club, alleging it was rife with prostitution and human trafficking. Through force, fraud, or coercion, pimps caused these women to engage in prostitution, the city alleged, and Treasures knowingly receives a benefit from participating in the prostitution trafficking ventures. Lawyers for the city called the Davari Brothers Club an epicenter of illegal activity and said that the evidence of human trafficking makes this place essentially abhorrent. Extortion, credit card fraud, dishing out brutal physical beatings, money laundering, these are also crimes, along with prostitution, human trafficking, and wage theft that the Davari Brothers clubs are alleged to have committed. Given their decades of legal troubles, one might imagine any respected political figure wouldn't touch money from the DeVaries with a 10-foot pole. But allegedly, Kim Og received that money. So we don't know how deep this thing could go, and if, they're doing everything they can to locate information regarding this club, regarding who this person is that was last seen with Felicia Johnson. My heart goes out to her family and her friends and loved ones that are missing her. We pray for her safe return. We pray she's alive and well. We pray that this is resolved soon. We pray that all those who have anything to do with this, any knowledge of this, there's definitely looks like there's some kind of crime being committed. It doesn't appear, according to her family, that she just got up and walked away from her life after one night at the club. There's a lot of shady people that hang around these types of clubs, and after reading that article, it kind of paints a picture of the club atmosphere around the clubs that these particular brothers own. And it's funny how they operate. They get to operate and keep their businesses going, and they make millions of dollars after lawsuits for not paying people. There's all type of criminal activity alleged, and they get to keep making millions, and all types of allegations. I even read an article as well about them contributing funds to a sheriff's race or something like that. So this is how it's done. They get in, to try to fly under the radar. Some of these businesses will put the money where their mouth is and back politicians, and then they get a million chances and maybe get overlooked when they should be under the spotlight. Sometimes it gets so big where they have to call it out, where things that's going on at these places have to be called out because the community doesn't stand for it. But I don't know if they have anything to do with this, but if I were the owner of the club and I had millions of dollars, I would definitely be putting out a reward. I would put any kind of money up to help the family, to help whatever party is doing something to bring back or to get any kind of information for Felicia Johnson. I haven't heard them release a statement, the DeVary brothers, all these different things, and they are Iranian American, and there was a discrimination suit allegedly brought against them from one of their one of their clubs by a black young lady as well. That was, I believe, in 2020 or 21. But I'm definitely following this case. I will continue to listen for any updates, and once I have any updates, I'll definitely come back here and share them, because we ultimately just want this girl to be returned home safely. But thank you all who are still listening and watching. Have a great evening. Be blessed.